Hi guys, there's so many subjects that I've been asked to talk about. I really don't know where to begin at this moment in time because I'm so busy with my latest collections of crystals that I'm working on throughout the day and night. Yesterday was a little bit different because I spent the whole day in meditation, sending love and protection to David Icke, who did an amazing job, and he's protected anyway, of course, but I just wanted to send more protection to all the people who were stood up for humanity in Trafalgar Square and in Berlin. Everybody who's really making an effort to try and expose the darkness who are controlling the world and trying to manipulate us in many different ways, including 5G and the obvious agenda of sticking a needle into every human being on planet Earth. So yesterday was one of those days when I was just praying that everybody was going to be okay, and then through the night I was praying that no violence would start in Trafalgar Square, and as far as I've been told, everything went really well. So well done, David. Congratulations, Mark Steele, all of you guys who were up there, and Kate, well done, Kate. Great job. Everybody did a great job. Brilliant. And my condolences to a brave hero, which is Pierce Corbin. Where do you go with that? 20 police officers arresting a beautiful old man. Please, I mean, he's not old, he's a lovely man. But yeah, there you go. We are really up against a tyranny right now, a real tyranny. We really are. Yeah, you're okay if you don't speak out against it, then that's fine. You're in that energy. But if you say, actually, hang on a minute, I don't agree with that, then you're locked up. And yeah, it's happening right now. But anyway, guys, let's not talk too negative today. Let's talk about something positive. And dropped it. My book. My book. Somebody says, do something special, say something nice, talk about something nice today. I said, okay, then this morning, I promise I'll do something nice. So then I thought, well, seeing as though the book's come out, it did think, look, I need that a little bit more. Stubborn. We could talk about that one, couldn't we? We could talk about that story, but maybe not. Let's leave that one. Let's see if we'll look at another story in the book. But yeah, it's just a wonderful book. Definitely brilliant for anybody who has a dodgy table and it's a bit wobbly. Stick it underneath there, it straightens it, and perfect. The other thing is, if you live in a warm country like me, then you can squat the flies with it. So perfect book for a multitude of things. Okay. Shut up, Mark. Okay. I'm going to flick to a story and I'm going to read you one of the stories in my interpretation. Not read it, but tell you what happened, okay? So, okay, here we go. This story is called, let me flick to the start, Only Hours to Live. Okay, I remember that story. Only Hours to Live. By Mark Bajerski. I wish I had the narrator's voice, the guy who spoke on the who did the stories on audio. What a beautiful voice! I want to thank him too. Do you know I don't even know his name? I'm gonna find out his name. Silly me. Okay, Only Hours to Live. So, I remember the day I was sat having a really refreshing orange juice at Bar Puras. Just relaxing. My next client wasn't till, I think, 1:30, 2 o'clock, and it was about 12, so I knew I had an hour's rest, which was really nice. My phone rang. I picked up the phone, and a lady's voice said, Mark, we need you. I said, what's wrong, Angel? He's not well. They're giving him 3 hours to live. And we need you. I put the phone down and I said, prior to putting the phone down, don't listen to anybody. I'll get onto a plane as fast as I can and I'll come straight over. I made about 4 or 5 phone calls for that day, and everybody said, it's okay, Mark, you go and do what you need to do. And that was great. My clients just were so beautiful, so kind. and people were coming from all over, so they understood. I mean, yeah, that's true kindness. I jumped onto the plane that evening and got there, I think around, I don't know, was it 8 or 9 o'clock? Not sure, but anyway, I gets there. Car pulls up. We drive towards this hotel. I said, I don't really need a hotel. I'd actually be probably better in the hospital if that's okay, because he was in the hospital. And so she made a few phone calls, and I think because it was a beautiful private hospital, they allowed me a bed. So we get to the hospital, and what I found fascinating by this hospital, it was there was a live band playing music in this beautiful open hallway, and then there was a food court over there, and like people were chatting and laughing, and the energy wasn't like a hospital. I've never seen anything like it in my life. This was in Belgium, I believe. So I said to my client, please don't say anything, let me go. And she said, look, Mark, he's not in a good place, he's not in a good state, his liver is dying, everything's dying, whatever the disease is, they've given, like, he should be dead already. I said, stop. Let's just go up there and let's sort it. So I get upstairs, and there he is lying down on the bed, all these wires and machines all around him. You've never seen that many machines all around him. I took my coat off, I opened my bag, and I put all my crystals in the room. And before I started, I said to this lady, I don't want to say the name, I said to this lady, who's a dear friend of mine, am I okay to work? And she said, I don't know exactly the words, but she made it clear to every doctor and all the nurses that I had priority in that room. So I'm speaking about a lady here who is a multi-millionaire. Okay, so money does talk. Just look at Bill Gates. Anyway, stop, Mark, stop. So I get into the room, and I see this man looking at me. He looked white, things all over his nose, a big thing over his mouth, lots of beep, 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 all this. And he looked kind of half dead. His eyes kind of went like that, and then they shut again. So I just walked over to him with a big smile on my face and says, come on then, let's get you out of here, which I often say. So I began the work. I asked this lady to leave and her family and allow me to do my work through the night. So I started the work, and I placed my hand. I actually tried to get to him because of all the machines. It was quite a challenge, but I managed to get to him somehow. And I started by the heart. So as a pure energy healer, we know that blasting the heart with energy strengthens the heart, which strengthens the whole of the energy, which is called the life force. That's the number one place we would start. So I spent hours working on his heart. Prior to that, I forgot to mention that there was also the mention again of 3 hours. And I said, look, nobody can play God in this world. Nobody knows how many hours anybody lives for. So please take that out of your mind and see him well and happy, and that you'll all be coming out soon and everything will be fine. I said, if you use that energy instead of focusing the energy of only 3 hours to live, then you are creating that energy. So please take that away. Nobody can play God. I can't, nobody can. So let's just do our best and send our love and healing. Makes sense, right? Yes, okay, see you later. So I'm working on his heart for a few hours. This nurse is walking in and out, watching everything I'm doing. The doctors keep coming in, but they're very, very kind. They're allowing me to do my work. I kept saying to the doctors throughout the night, please, if you need me to walk out of the room, I'm happy to go out of the room anytime so you can do your work. You see, I even though I may say that I don't agree with the medical world in a lot of things, there is a lot of things I do agree with, and I do believe that doctors and nurses are flipping incredible, and they do know a lot, and they do work very hard, and they do care for their patients. So people sometimes get me wrong there. They really do. But I know a lot of doctors. In fact, I sit with a doctor most mornings. So, when I talk about stuff, I talk about the pharmaceutical industry hijacking health. And anyway, so I'm doing my healing work, and I'm starting to feel a positive energy now, whereas before it felt very drained. So I was kind of draining a little bit. So I knew there was a lot of work being done, a lot of cleansing at the same time. So blasting away, and at the same time, as a pure energy healer breathes, they breathe in the toxins or the negative energy and breathe out through the mouth. That's why I don't wear masks, because all day long your hands and your body is an energy magnet, and it absorbs and it needs to release. And where does it release from? The mouth. So if you have a mask on, it goes back inside. That's why on a spiritual level, masks are very, very, very wrong, in my opinion. So we need to breathe that out. So I'm breathing that negative energy out all night. Then I started working on certain parts of the body when I felt the heart had a lot of energy in there and strength, which meant that every time this beautiful soul opened his eyes, he would then smile or be grumpy or say something that might be 15 minutes, and then he'd fall back to sleep again. That was my indicator, and always has been over 16 years, that when people are in such a weak place, when they wake up, the length of time that they're awake for gives me an idea as if their energy is growing, if their life force, their chi, their prana is growing in strength. So the longer that they're awake, the more I'm realizing that this is working. So through the night, from 5 minutes to opening his eyes, 2 minutes, then 3 minutes, then 5 minutes, then 10 minutes, we're up to like 15 minutes. At one point he said to me, "I'm so glad you're here." And I said, "I'm so glad I'm here." So we continue. A nurse keeps coming, watching me all the time, and then pretending not to watch me and walking in and out. At that point, I knew who the nurse was. I knew straight away who she was, and I knew what she was doing. So I was continuing my work, and I think it got to about, 6:30 in the morning. I'd worked through the whole of the night. I'd gone for a couple of pee breaks, and then at 6:30 to 8 o'clock, I woke up at 8 o'clock. So I went into a room that they'd got for me. So I set my watch for a couple of hours rest, and then I got back up and went back in. At that point, this lady's husband was there, stood over him, and they were chatting. They were having a talk. Anyway, I continued. I left them to it, but continued my healing work through the day. A point came where there was a fight, and that fight was because there was a certain let's put it this way. From 3 hours to survive, now he was becoming stronger. And in them 2 days that I worked with him, he became that strong that there was a point where not just the medication, but also a different technique of machinery needed to be used. Anyway, there was a battle, a great big battle with the doctors and with this beautiful man's wife, who was a strong woman, who wanted a certain thing to be done which wasn't being done. I didn't get involved, but I did see that after that conversation, his energy depleted again. So I was back to square one again. So those 2 days were almost like a waste of energy. He was angry, and I said to him, "Look, you're going to have to stop being angry, because it's only weakening you. Let everything fall into place, but don't get involved in the politics." So he didn't hear me because he was quite stubborn. He is quite stubborn. So anyway, I then started again, continuing the healing work. Same, but then I started going into different places. Anyway, it happened again like another day later, and I said, okay, I said to everybody, look, here's the thing. I only have another few days I can be here, because I have a course, and people are coming from all over the world for this course. I have to fly out on this day. And I said, if you want to get out of this hospital, then you're going to have to stop this fighting, right? Because I won't be here. I'm going. I have no option. So you can either use me now and take everything, but listen to my words and stop fighting, or you can continue fighting, and then when I'm gone, I won't be able to come back. I think he heard them words very clearly, and all the fighting stopped. The following day and the day after, my work was getting more and more intense. The nurse that I saw the first day, I didn't see for the next, I think, 2 days or something, 3 days, something like that. But it was around 1 o'clock in the morning, and I could feel I needed some extra help because of the fight that day. And I was struggling because my energy was depleting. This nurse walked past and I turned to her and I said, I need some help, because I knew she was a healer. And she says, what would you like? I said, your energy. She says, what do you mean? I said, I know you're a healer. I said, I can feel you're a healer. And I said, you're an amazing healer. I need your help. She says, I can't. I'm sorry. I'll get into trouble. And I said, well, I've been doing this job for a while now, and I've been into many hospitals. And I said, and I've got a great trick that you can use. Oh, what do you mean? I said, he needs a foot bath. He's been asking for one. And she had a big smile on her face. Oh, that's a good idea. So she ran out and came back with the foot bath, with the water and the cloth. And so we began. She started helping me from the bottom, cleaning his feet and then placing her hands on his feet. And then I was working around his head and his heart, and the work began. And I've got to tell you, she was an amazing healer. Nurses are. And we worked together through the night, and she kept coming back and forth with the ball there. It was pretty awesome, to be honest. Anyway, the next morning he was a different man. The doctors came in and I gave the nurse a hug and said, thank you. I don't know what I'd have done without you. And she was so thrilled, because she actually did what a nurse should do and what they can't do. That is, give energy and love in these perfect, amazing ways. I mean, they do, of course, when they touch the patients and they talk to them in that way. Of course, they do naturally heal them, but this was a more profound way. So, yeah, the next morning the doctors came in and realised he was sat up, and he was saying to them, I feel fine. I feel absolutely strong. And I like tears in my eyes. It was a great feeling to see a changed man, given 3 hours to live, now was sat up and wanted to actually get out of the bed. Can you imagine? And of course the doctor said no, and he argued back, and I said, oh, you said you wouldn't argue. Anyway, the doctor said, okay, if he wants to get out, let him try. So the nurse came, and Ashuri got out of bed and walked up and down, and he was so proud. At that point, there was a discussion about a new machine, and that they agreed that they were going to put him on the dialysis, which I know is a very traumatic machine and does take a lot of energy out of you, but it does have great effects to the kidneys. So that was an agreement. So I was there. He was then put onto the dialysis, and I was working with him at that point, which I know it took a lot out of me, but anyway, it was fine. And then he was in a wheelchair and got up, and he was laughing, and yeah, the day came when I had to leave, and him being him, when he's in his full form, he likes to get his own way, but he didn't, because I had to leave. And I said, you know what, you need to write a book about your life and what you've been through, and he's been through a lot. And I said, promise me you'll write your book. And he made that promise. I left there, give everybody a cuddle, and to this day he's well, fit and happy. And I don't know whether he's writing his book, but the moral of that story is really, really simple. We never should or can predict that somebody is going to leave this world, because in my 16 years of working with people who have been told they've got a week or a month or a year to live, It's never been that case in my understanding of healing those people. So I think the moral of the story is that we should always honor the fact that each moment we breathe, each day, each hour, each minute is a blessing, and anything can change at any given moment. So our energy can shift from a doctor or 5 doctors saying he's got 3 hours to a man living a healthy life, and the doctors as usual saying, wow, that's a great recovery, amazing machines, we've done a brilliant job, which is fine. I don't have any issue with that, but probably it was it me? I don't know, but I do know that from 3 hours he is now living a happy and healthy and stubborn life as his energy is, which is a bit like mine. That's one of the stories from the book, and one of the stories that I relate to people every day when they tell me that a doctor or somebody has told them they've only got a few hours to live or weeks. There's no such thing as space and time, and in my world, anybody who believes in that are just limiting themselves to an idea of somebody's perception. Open your heart up, enjoy every single moment you have. And there is a thought I always have in my mind. All the pain and suffering that we go through from day to day, all the thoughts that we have, all the fears that we have. Before a fear comes into your mind about a certain subject, whether it's a vaccine that may be mandatory, or you're paying your next mortgage, or a family member falling out with you, or whatever that may be, stop and just think to yourself, if you were told that you had 1 hour to live and you really believe that to be so, would any of the things that you're fighting over or feeling sad about or getting angry about, would they really mean anything? Would they matter? And if you can answer yourself, being honest, no, they wouldn't matter at all, then I'll leave you with this message. It wouldn't matter and doesn't matter. Nothing matters apart from your happiness and your health. And each moment you live on this world is important, and more important than any fear or worries or illnesses that you think you have, because you can change your energy and your health and your mind and your fears to happiness. You have that power, you have that gift, and I believe in you with all my heart. So today, make today the first day of the rest of your life. Shine bright, heal yourself from the inside, eat the right foods, drink plenty of water, and stay away from the fear for just 7 days. Just be with you and focus on beautiful things only. Eat the most perfect fruit and vegetables and drink plenty of water, and watch how you heal your life in 7 days. I love you all. Have a great day. I hope you enjoyed one of the many stories in this book, Seeing the Invisible. It's my brand new book, and if you want to buy it, it's available at markbajerski.com, and if you want to hear the audiobook, it's available on my website, and there's another story on the homepage that you can listen to as well, from a beautiful voice. If you like his voice and think, you know what, I'd like to listen to that, you can download it, and it's there always for you to listen to anytime you want. Or you can get the ebook as well, and I'm going to start to sign a few of these books now, and if you want a signed book, I'm going to get these ready for you on Monday and put them out there. I'll put a personal message in there, I'll channel a message for you, and I'll get this big heavy book sent to you with love. That's it. I want to say thank you for always trusting and believing in me, even though there's times that what I say is a little bit crazy and a little bit off and a little bit mad. But you know what, after 16 years of saying those crazy things, a lot of them seems to be coming true right now. Have a great day. Love you all.